What is up, everybody? And once again, I am alone over here in the hot tub area. I got a little bit wider of an angle, so you have to deal with more of me. Unfortunately, you're still gonna have to deal with the echo. And I wanted to go over this Roger Stone story for a second because I think it's important. I saw today that Facebook stocks were going up, and that is in despite of the fact that a bunch of people have basically pulled their advertising from Facebook because they don't think Facebook is draconian enough, right? They can lie to you and say it's, well, they're not getting rid of fake news. Oh, they're going to let Russia interfere with the elections, etc. That's not what this is. This is about more and more control over mainstream issues, okay? So that's why the Roger Stone issue is so important. And what am I talking about? Well, I was going through Bloomberg.com today after my AMA because I had seen some disgusting article about the battle for the vaccine of the coronavirus that made me want to puke. And originally, I was going to do a broadcast on that. I was going to do that from here and say, hey, we really need to push back against this idea of mandatory vaccinations for COVID-1984. But then on the page, I noticed that they were taking down Roger Stone accounts. And then I read the article and I was just like, whoa, what is going on here? So 45 people watching, 15 thumbs up, get the thumbs up. Basically, they said that they were going to take away Roger Stone's personal account because he was actually orchestrating a bunch of bot accounts to, get either his sentence postponed. It's not the sentence, the detention postponed, whether or not he's going to have to go in or not. He says it's categorically false. Even if it wasn't false, who cares? Do you know how many of these mainstream military industrial complex promoting organizations have not only created fake accounts, but fake pages based on fake movements? Isn't that what's more concerning? I mean, my God. No, I haven't heard the Roger Stone did nothing wrong song. And that's not true. Roger Stone has done plenty wrong. He's not a great person. Now, did he do anything wrong they charged him with in a court of law? No, they didn't. You know what? Maybe I want to flip this over upside down. Oh, we rotated the device. Yeah, that's more like it. We're getting all this wet because that's what we do here. We destroy equipment, but that's a little better for me. All right. And that's the thing. Look, they've tried to demonize Roger Stone's relationship with Julian Assange, WikiLeaks, and all that stuff, and that's dangerous. That's big time dangerous. Why is that dangerous? Because they've convinced so many people that Julian Assange, WikiLeaks, and Roger Stone are somehow like puppets of the pootster, of poop. They're not puppets of poop, okay? Let's get it straight and understand that the WikiLeaks revelations from 2006 had nothing to do with Russia. Let me repeat that, had nothing to do with Russia. Roger Stone had nothing to do with Russia. Okay, he barely had anything to do with the WikiLeaks. And Roger Stone is one of those people, just like Alex Jones is one of those people, that they get an inch and they'll claim a mile. What do I mean? Not take a mile. Well, they'll get some information, and then they will spin that information as to an even more extreme source or piece of information. Why? For political purposes, for purposes of fame, for propaganda purposes. Yes, that's right. Propaganda works every way. All right, there's mainstream media propaganda, there's alt media propaganda, there's individual propaganda, and let's be honest, Stone is a master at many of them, and has been for some time. That's the way he was able to social climb so high, okay? So when you can go in there and you can take out an individual Facebook page, it's extremely troubling. And then you can take out pages associated with supporting that person.
Roger Stone's, whether you like him or not, he's a public figure, right, guys? He's a public figure. You can't deny that, right? Roger Stone is a public figure. Okay. So there will be people that come to his aid, and they have the right to put up web pages, whether I agree with them or not. Okay? They have a right to defend that man. God forbid, let's just say this happened, guys. Jason Burmis gets done with his trip, right? Jason Burmis went through a state where he might have stopped at a gas station and paid with a card to pump his gas in one of those 19 banned Cuomo dictator states. Oh no. And then he comes home and a contact tracer tries to contact him. And Jason Burmis refuses because he's not going to be part of, you know, the modern day Gestapo. The audio's got to be horrible, right? Sorry about that, guys. So I refuse, and then I start getting subpoenaed $2,000 a day for refusing to talk to those people. Eventually, they put me in jail. They bring me up on criminal charges. Now, I want to defend myself, and then my fans want to defend me. So I take to Facebook and I say, this is happening to me. I am being unjustly accused of a crime I could not commit because it would be an unconstitutional crime in the first place. And then you make a page called Jason Burmis has done nothing wrong. Come on. Well, I'll tell you what, this phone that I'm using is different than the one the other day, and it actually has a decent audio setup. Yeah, I'm thinking about South Dakota being the main one. I just booked here through Sunday. I'm going to try to do a mixed martial mindset with John before the UFC this weekend. So anyway, I'm not as big as Roger Stone. I don't have the deep pockets Roger Stone does. I don't have the connections that Roger Stone does. I'm at even a bigger disadvantage than Roger Stone. And then the social media monsters and censors want to come in and get rid of my pages. Is that so far off right now? Is that out of the realm of possibility? I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. UFC doesn't Connor still work for them, unfortunately, although he declared his retirement a little over a month ago. I don't even want to get into that. Jason Burmis is too pretty for jail. I'm not trying to go there, I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you what, I'll beef up on some steroids and push-ups and personal trainer if that's ever going to happen. And definitely get into some jiu-jitsu. But I'm pretty Look, Roger Stone is trying to claim, you know, pre-existing health conditions, anything that he can to stay out of there, and I understand that because if they get their way, they'll let him rot in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Doesn't matter, you know, about his previous dealings. Doesn't matter that Roy Cohn was his mentor. If we truly believe in a justice system and not an injustice system, we have to, and I wouldn't take steroids. I don't think I'd have to. Listen, I'm small. Look at that, that's like barely a muscle. That's disgusting. That's my left one. Let's go with my right one. I'm small, but if I start working out, I bulk up pretty quick. You know, I'm not going to jail, guys. I'm not going to jail. But you have to, listen, you have to defend that because you have to point out how egregious it is that they went after him for a lie. You have to point out how egregious it is that they're demanding more censorship from Facebook, and Facebook is saying, hell yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna censor it up. That's the deal. So guys, thumbs the video up, subscribe, and share. Like I said, we're going to be here in the St. Louis area through Sunday, it looks like. Well, through Saturday night, and then Sunday I'm going to hit the road. And, maybe the Ozarks region is for me. Maybe that's where I'm going to go check out next. And maybe I'll do a day in the Ozarks, and I'll do a day in, I'll do a day in Kansas City. Because I don't know if Wisconsin's on the list anymore. I'm glad that they fought back, but now they're back in masks. Yikes. Maybe it's just South Dakota after this, I'm not sure. So like I said, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Be on the lookout for my next COVID-19 84 video where I discuss the push for mass vaccinations and how the media is already going to begin demonizing those that refuse to take their COVID-19 84 vaccine, despite the fact they've never been able to successfully make a viral vaccine, despite the fact even their viral influenza A and influenza B vaccine by their own CDC numbers is less than 50% effective. I'm the crazy person, according to Bloomberg, ABC, NBC, Fox News, CNN, all your mainstream media Muppets, for daring to say I'm not going to let them plunge me in my body with some kind of an unknown substance. Not going to happen. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip.